with Benedikt Jung from Germany playing Qliphort against Jeppe Peeperkorn from the Netherlands, who is playing Shaddoll. So let's take you to the table. Let's not waste any time because the rest of the field has already started and we don't want to fall behind too much. And let's see how this game is going. We already got the cards in on the right hand side of the screen, and it looks like Jeppe is going first. Yes.
Yep, and here's a Star Seraph Scepter, and there's the Sovereignty in hand, so there is going to be an immediate. He's actually, it looks like Benedikt's actually just asking there whether...
Should I drop Effect Veil is what he's asking there.
Yeah, there's that, and I think he's also asking how he's building the chain.
All right. In case you guys are interested, and I think you are, we got 4 Necros decks remaining in the field. This is the only match without a Necros deck in there. We got a mirror match between Federico Supini, who we have just seen in our last feature match, who's going up against Long Dao, both playing Necros. The reigning, defending European champion Eugen Heid plays Necros, and he's going up against Peter Meyer, who we've seen before, playing Qliphort, just like Benedikt. And the last not feature match, but top 8 match, which I already told you guys, Luca Cittoni, also Necros player, going up against Lars Junginger's Volcanic Heroes.
Okay, so we the Star Seraph play got interrupted halfway through, but a Sovereignty came down, so a card was still drawn. Book of Moon was set, and then it passed turn. Upstart Goblin.
Thinning out the deck a little bit more.
Now, there's 3 Helixes and a Vanity's Emptiness in hand. It would have been nice if any of those had a different pendulum scale on it. Unfortunately not. Oh, hang on, he has just drawn into a carrier. We just had it update on our screen here.
Yep. So let's... Benedikt is asking again, how does everything work out? So here's the carrier.
Okay, so carrier down, Helix down, Pendulum Summon one of them, tribute it, destroy the back row. Is your basic play.
Yep, seems like Jeppe,
but the chain's going to happen.
Aware of that. Yes, what is the back row card? It is a Book of Moon. Another very old card that's still making a showing at the top tables. Such a versatile card. Get you out of the chin lock, for example, and also flipping. But if you flip it face down, it's got its original attack, defense and attack. Well, if it's flipped up again, right? Because it's
not too sure whether a flip summon counts as a normal summon in this situation.
No. That's not what I mean. But the effect that it halves the stats, or the attack is going down, is being reset when it is flipped face down, I think. But I think it doesn't matter, to be honest, because
it only has 1,000 defense.
Yeah, he's going to run over it with the Star Seraph.
Swingy.
Thinking about attacking with the Thunder King here.
Okay, and he's just set a core.
And he didn't attack directly, is that correct?
I believe he did.
Because I didn't see him declaring an attack with Thunder King. But of course we don't have audio from the table. We only see what's happening. All right.
Hand gestures. And Pendulum Summon has just happened.
Another tribute summon?
Yep, no, he's tributed.
Yeah, and Thunder King leaves the field to make sure, to negate that Pendulum Summon. All right, let's bring up the hand of Jeppe.
He actually set the core, I believe. It's not just not updated on our app.
Okay. And he's also running the Cerberus.
Yes. Cerberus, yes. Incredibly good card.
It's such a cuddly little beast.
Really? You think that was cuddly?
Absolutely.
Oh, you must really love the fright for monsters, surely.
Oh, yeah. And Benedikt is out of cards in his hand. That's definitely a page he took out of his previous book of how to play his decks, because he's a big fan of the Dark World archetype.
Okay, he's declaring the Pendulum, I believe.
And he's got those... in case you're wondering, because it's always very confusing, there are 0 monsters in the monster card zone, and still you see 2 monsters on the right-hand side. Those are the Pendulum cards, just to make sure. Then you guys get that right.
Okay, so Mystical Space Typhoon is hitting a core.
Yep, taking that down.
And out comes the carrier. And does he have anything in his hand that will help at this moment? He has a Recreate. which it's still his monster's still on plus 300, and all of his opponent's monsters are on minus 300. So he is going to be able to just run something over. In this case, it was Sovereignty.
Yep, that he does.
Okay, so Recreate has been set, and that's going to start negating effects.
And when do you flip Recreate? I don't think he fears a Denkoseka. And it's interesting because Benedikt was almost out of resources, but those pendulum summons getting him back into the game. This is really the core thing to keep in mind when you're playing Qli. You are the favorite going into the late game.
Yes, but to be honest with you, that's the same with any pendulum deck. The whole idea of pendulums is you have monsters that just won't go away.
Yeah, and Benno setting a Fiendish Chain. Play is back to Jeppe, however. Still not 100% sure how to pronounce the name. He's got a Shaddoll, Falco, Effect Veiler, and Mathematician in hand.
He has the ability to Synchro Summon, if he has any in his deck. Let's have a quick check. He has Leo, Star Eater, Arcanite Magician. Yeah, that's his selection of Synchros there.
And let's see who you guys haven't really been voting on this match. But earlier we saw that the opinions are going in different directions, and a couple of times, even when it looked like one guy was winning, for example, Lars Junginger with his Volcanic deck, the majority of folks in the Twitch chat thought he would not have a chance against Shaddoll.
Yeah.
And then he showed everybody that the Volcanic heroes are
a force to be reckoned with.
Yes.
Yeah. It is a thing.
All right. So Fiendish Chain shutting down the Mathematician that comes down for Jeppe. And Benedikt Jung applying more and more pressure.
Normal summoning a Stealth, which is an interesting move. Okay, Stealth attacking in.
And
when Mathematician goes to the graveyard, he does get to still draw a card.
And also, he didn't flip his Recreate.
I don't believe he thinks he needs to right now. He's going to save it.
But don't you want to have the full attack for the Stealth?
Not too sure where he's going. We'll just have to see.
All right. There goes. Was it a Falco? No, that's the Cerberus.
So here we go. He's going to start being able to destroy cards when he takes damage. And here's a Shaddoll Fusion, but unfortunately there is the Vanity's Emptiness.
Yeah.
Does he have anything to chain? No, he does not. He only has a Mistake, which is something that he may be feeling he's made.
Right. And Jeppe forced into very, very defensive position here. He's hanging in the ropes right now, just setting a Falco, and that's also not going to help that much, is it?
He's kind of, at this point, he's not going to be coming back. There's very, very little he could actually pull together to be able to come back.
There's a Monolith hitting play.
He's tributed it, which is tributed the Helix, going to the extra deck, and would destroy a Spell Trap card. So there goes the Mistake as well. Right,
so Benedikt Jung picking apart his opponent, who was on 6,500 life points prior to that turn. Now he takes damage. That allows him to trigger the Cerberus,
which I believe doesn't
destroys
the
card on the
field.
No, it doesn't. It just says when you take damage, you are then allowed to destroy a card on the field, and then you get the 1-2 punch of destroying another card, which ends up in the graveyard, and this then triggers the Vanity's Emptiness, which also ends up in the graveyard.
So Recreate has now gone as well, and he's going to Pendulum Summon.
Yeah.
Shaddoll Fusion.
Shaddoll Fusion, that is how you draw cards from the top of your deck.
That is, yes, you generally pick them up, and then put them into your hand.
Yes, that. And I was more aiming.
I understand.
All right. Thank you.
He has special summon from the extra deck because those are pendulum monsters. A little bit of a mistake. He hadn't actually had anything on the field that was from the extra deck until he did that, which has set up Shaddoll Fusion to be able to send cards from the deck.
All right. We've just been told that we were using the wrong name, or I was using the wrong name, last name of Jeppe, because it's Peeperkorn. It sounds like peppercorn, a German word, which is pepper, piece of pepper. And that is mostly because the printout was incorrect. He never wanted to have his name corrected in the standings.
Oh.
For whatever reason.
Interesting.
If that happens to you guys, you can just go up to the scorekeeper and tell him, or like write it down on your result entry slip, hey, this is not actually my name. Which in turn ensures that we're going to get it right.
Yeah, you can always change your name at any point. However, changing COSI ID generally isn't
All right.
something people do.
So Jeppe does have a Star Seraph sovereignty. I think I can never say this correctly.
No, you said sovereignty, right?
All right.
No, you got it.
And he found a Raigeki.
Ooh, that is nasty.
My God, Yugi himself couldn't have done that better. Finding the Shaddoll fusion on top of his deck, followed by a Raigeki.
Sending a dragon to the graveyard as well, just to pop one of the pendulum cards, so there's no more pendulum summons.
Wow, this is Destiny drawing at its best. And suddenly Benedikt Jung is left without a field.
And Benedikt just got an Upstart Goblin, and I believe he just drew into an Upstart Goblin that he also played.
All right, so he's causing Jeppe's life points to go up twice, and then he's forced to pass play, not being... Oh, he found the Raigeki of his own. Wow.
But the outcome's that the Falco and...
just returns itself.
A fusion is going to... A Shadow Fusion should go to hand at this point.
Yeah, now we see the reason why Raigeki was limited rather than banned 2 lists ago. It doesn't really do that much against Shaddoll.
No, not at all. And there's a sovereignty in hand, so there's an immediate... Yeah, you can see where this is going.
Yeah. And what a swingy game. It looked like Benedikt had this, and suddenly Jeppe finds the perfect out.
Ooh, and set goes a beast. And down should come the Shadow Fusion now. Oh, no, but he's going to poke with the bird. Interestingly.
Maybe.
And there's an El Shadow Fusion, which is then going to bring out...
He's doing,
I believe that's actually game.
Yeah.
No, he's done it to poke with the bird.
Exactly. So he can do more damage this way, because the El Shadow Fusion is, of course, a quick play spell card, which means he can activate it in the middle of the battle phase after the first attack connected, and then the second attack with the monster that he just summoned to the field, which would have been a construct.
Yep. Monsters, they're cards that special summon things like El Shadow Fusion, Mask Change, Ritual Beast Bond, things like that wins games.
Yeah, if you know how to play them.
Yes, definitely.
And, well, we can tell Jeppe does know how to play them. All right, so 1-0 for the Netherlands. Very good news if you're rooting for the Netherlands.
Now, here's the siding. Shaddoll is actually playing Secret Village of the Spellcasters. I don't know if people know, but I think it's pretty much every single Shadow card is a Spellcaster. So that's going to stop Qliphort from playing any spell cards, which includes the Pendulum.
Right, so this might be the hottest side deck tech that we've seen all weekend long, even though we've seen quite a few good cards. Is there anything else that can wreak havoc on the Qli archetype that Benedikt is piloting?
Vanity's Fiend is quite big, but Qli don't actually need to be able to special summon, so that's not a big issue. Crush Card Virus is going to... Everything is going to be over... Is over that amount. Well, except Scout. Scout is on 1,000, but Crush Card Virus will still be very, very nasty. Mind Control, if he's running Shekanaga. Which I believe he is as well.
All right, let's talk about Benedikt's deck then. He's got Emergency Teleports in the side deck, Recover, Majesty's Fiend, Vanity's Fiend, Stormforth of the Monarch Stormforth. What is 2 times Storm?
Storm, I believe, is you pay to destroy cards on the field equal to the amount of face-up spell trap cards you've got.
We got a couple of cards with the name, with Storm in the name, and destroy as many spell trap cards you control as possible, then destroy as many your opponent controls as possible, up to the number of cards destroyed by this effect.
Yeah, so it's a nice little thing, but it's not really going to be doing anything against Shadow.
And you see the 2 players smiling. That is because they are picking up the background noise, because with the slight delay that we have on the stream, our audience in the venue has just seen how the first match was decided, and that was sick top decks.
It was.
From Jeppe with that Shaddoll fusion and the Raigeki made all the difference.
Yeah, everybody's he's actually noticing the fact of what I mentioned there, that he definitely should not have pendulum summoned from the extra deck to make that Shaddoll fusion live. If that hadn't happened, then it would have been a very, very different story.
All right. And what do you think about Benedikt's move of summoning from the extra deck in the first place? Because he didn't have to in that match. All right, we're ready for the second game.
Interestingly, Jeppe is playing Tsukuyomi, which is just nice.
And Benedikt is kicking things off in the second game. And we don't have the cards yet. There we go. As a carrier.
Ooh. So down comes the Thunder King Ryo with a Shaddoll fusion for a Winder.
Wow. This is going to hurt.
There's some negation there as well. Falco is coming back out. And there is the village of the spellcasters, secret village of the spellcasters. So now, fortunately, there is going to be no pendulum cards.
There's a Book of Moon.
And both of the Monarch Storm 4th that is sat in Benedikt's hand is now completely useless. He cannot actually play any of the cards that he has. And all of those monsters have higher attacks than the one monster that he has. He is losing on turn 2 currently.
Wasn't he able to chain that Book of Moon to the activation of the secret village?
Probably, but he didn't.
Yeah, but it would have been possible.
Thunder King Ryo also? No, Thunder King Ryo is probably Thunder.
It's a Thunder.
It's kind of in the name, isn't it? That would be a silly thing to say.
Winder just can't be destroyed. It's not like unaffected by effects.
Yeah.
So he should have flipped down Winder with the Book of Moon, I think.
I just don't think that he thought about that. Maybe a little bit of a misplay. This is actually incredibly good against Necros as well, then. While you think about it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't even run any traps at all.
Yeah. All right, so...
I think he's just checking as well and just going, yeah, Falco is a spellcaster also.
Yeah, but the face-down spellcasters don't really matter.
I know, I think he was just asking whether it was or not.
All right, so Benedikt found a monster, the Qliphort Helix.
But at the moment, he's not really doing anything at all. That gets attacked over. And the Star Seraph Sovereignty was just drawn into there, not really doing anything. But there is a massive attack that is going to go on here for 4,000, nearly a ridiculous amount. 4,100. Just trying to remember their attacks.
Yeah. Benedikt, after just 2 turns of Jeppe, standing with his back against the wall, almost defeated in this quarter-final. And wow, that's such an explosive start. What is Benedikt hoping for here? Mirror Force would be good.
Mirror Force would be good. Does he run Mirror Force?
Not running Mirror Force. Nope.
Nope. In fact, is he running anything that helps?
Yeah, exactly. That's my question here.
No is the answer. No. He can't actually get over it.
So he
He's
flips it.
He
Yeah,
can't get out. He
he's
can't do it.
extending the hand. That is it. Jeppe Peeperkorn applies the turn 1 kill.
Yeah.
You thought the chinlock
ridiculous.
you thought the chinlock was good. Nope. Secret Village of the Spellcasters so much better, at least against Qliphort.
But we can definitely see why Jeppe has actually come all the way through to where he is now.
Yes,
well, to
yes.
the top 4 now.
And this is the first time we have seen that secret tech in the side deck.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Quite
ridiculous.
honestly, yeah, like you said, I'm very impressed as well. I think I think that Michael Wichello is just gonna run over to our vendors again.
Yes, to go and buy some
He's
Secret
gonna
Village and
be like
Spellcasters.
Secret Village.
How
many do you got?
Any?
I'll buy them all.
Yeah.
All right, so we might have lost Michael Wichello for our top 4 feature match, and But I guess that's a price we're willing to pay if we're seeing secret and hot tech like this, the secret village of the spellcasters.
It has been used before in the past, but
right.
now it's absolutely fantastic.
And this is one of the things that we see quite a couple of times. Even when a card is good, if it's suddenly not so good anymore, just for like 2 months, everybody seems to forget about the card forever.
Yeah.
It's not like people are revisiting, oh, what was good like 2 formats ago, 3 formats ago, and then come up with appliances for these cards in the current format.
Yeah.
I don't see that often enough. Very often I'm asking guys, how is this possible? Is there not some window of opportunity when like one of the old decks that got hated out of the metagame is now good again?
Yeah.
We have seen that with Lightsworn yesterday. Marvin Weber was 3-0 at some point. I think he didn't make day 2, so the rest of his day wasn't going that successfully. But sometimes you have to try out a different or old strategy, and it's suddenly shining again.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, it's interesting that with so much anti-meta, the best anti-meta deck at the time that can run all of the anti-meta cards without worrying about it was Yosenju. It's interesting to see that we didn't see anything really do quite well at Yosenju.
No, and we didn't have them in our top 32 breakdown. So we had 21 Necros, just to recap. So Necros, even though it wasn't as dominant at the beginning of the tournament as we thought, they were going up in relative numbers. From day 1 to day 2, they were gaining, relatively speaking, of course. And then they were gaining again with 21 in the top 32. And now we are looking at 4 Necros in the top 8. That makes 50% of the field.
Yes.
But there are many decks that are being built to catapult you into the top 32. Just to have the element of surprise in the Swiss rounds.
Yep, there's so many rogue decks that you can't build to just be one deck. You need to be prepared to be able to get yourself into the top and then start fighting for it.
And we have seen guys building decks to specifically combat Necros. One of my friends was running 6 Samurai, Giovanni Capecci. We've had a couple of times on the coverage because he's always coming up with these ridiculous and creative ideas.
Yeah.
And round 1 he gets paired against heroes. So he's like, it's not exactly what I wanted to see. Loses 2-1. He's like, okay, I can still do this. Round 2, gets paired against heroes. Loses 0-2. At that point, he's already like, oh my god, this day is not going according to plan. Round 3, you want to guess?
Heroes? How? Although there was quite a few heroes.
It was one of the shortest tournaments of his career. He wasn't very much amused. So even if you seem to have the perfect game plan against Necros, you cannot come with a deck that is not doing well against all of these other decks in the field.
Exactly.
And, well, we're going to be talking to Jeppe in just a second to hear about that secret village of the spellcasters and the other amazing cards that he found to put Shaddoll into the top 4, into the semi-finals of YCS Bochum.
Definitely. I mean, I love the side deck. The side deck is fantastic, and that tech works completely.
All right. We're just going on a short break. You know the drill by now, 1 or 2 minutes, and then we're going to be back with an interview with the champion semi-finalist of YCS Bochum.